I keep climbing the mountain of your fallen armies.
Hey guys, Midnight here, and today I got a nice little treat for an overview of meta connoisseurs and rare warlord gourmets. We are playing some offensive war, namely Endryd Haar. You don't see orphans that much at all after their recent nerfs, like this guy got changed, so he was deal 2 damage to a random enemy troop. This change makes him on one side more versatile, on the other hand he loses a lot of his control potential, because if you send like 1 or 2 down of these and your opponent played a troop-based deck, he wasn't able to deal with them because they are hard to get rid of. You could basically pick it up, so the change was kind of fair. This was probably the most annoying 2 energy troop in the game. No, it's still fine, but not as strong as it used to be. And also they changed the Moroted Cyrus. His ability was give sentence to any enemy, so you could also target the enemy warlord with that. That means you could pull off random bullshit like use his ability and then Garuda, and then it was basically for 4 energy, deal 6 damage and stun the target. It was a bit too strong and super annoying to play against. Yeah, nonetheless, why are we playing Haar? Originally I wanted a deck which is good against Knights and Perturabo. I was kind of annoyed by them, so I tinkered over the past days around with this. That's why the upload is also a bit late. I had actual good results with that. It doesn't have any really bad matchups, so to say. We kind of struggle against big troops a bit, but usually we want to seal the game before that, so it's kind of an aggro deck. But the cool thing is about Haar is that you can just pedal back if your aggro game plan fires backwards. So if you're like really low on HP and the enemy warlord isn't, which is not often the case, you can just stop attacking them and use your survivor ability for a couple turns, like Turtle Up. It's pretty cool about him, so it adds some versatility to our gameplay. So yeah, without further ado, let's check the deck. We're playing Endryd Haar, as mentioned. He has a negative trait, Berserk. That means you need to act with him every turn, but we use that a bit to our advantage, so to say. We play aggro, so we want to smash the enemy's face anyway if you play aggro. If you play against hyper aggro yourself, then you can also just spam your ability, but again, usually you just want to do that when you want to backpedal, as I mentioned, because when you hit someone like Karn, for example, you get up to 3 attack, and Karn's whole deal is that he attacks you twice. So if he runs into you, you will have 3 attack, then maybe a random ping hits your face again, and you're at 5 attack. He will probably think twice before attacking you again, so he's kind of an aggro, anti-aggro warlord in that matter. It's not easy to pilot this. You need to know when to go aggressive and when to calm down and pump your survivor up a bit. So yeah, let's get into the cards. We have a word engagement. For 1 energy, it draws us a card, and if it's a tactic, we deal 2 damage to the enemy warlord. We have a good tactics to troops ratio here for this card, so I included it. Pretty good. Then Ashen Claw. You will probably see it in any Orphan's deck. It's basically Precision Bombardment Junior, but better in my opinion because it's cheaper. So you draw a card and deal 2 damage for 2, and it gets back to your deck, which is not bad. It's not always cool to redraw it, but it's 2 damage for 2 and draw a card sometimes. I really like it. Then we have Horus Lidric, the most annoying 2 energy troop in the game, probably still. Simply because he's super hard to get rid of. He's an annoyance, and that's the only reason he's in this deck. He has no real purpose. Yeah, he simply draws attention from us away a bit. Abandoned Supplies, just a good 2 energy slot. We have a lot of 4 and 5 energy cards, so if you draw them, they come in really handy. Then Legionary Shoulder. The ping just comes in handy sometimes to finish something off, especially when we get attacked by something which has 4 health and we had a 3 attack because of our rage. So we can plan ahead a bit with this one. Also, we run orders from Terra here. So basically we attack, we go up to 3 attack, and then we use it in attack again. This combo deals 5 damage. If we use Shelter on the enemy warlord as well, it's 6 damage. But if we use Shelter on us first, and then attack, then it's 3 damage. And then we use orders from Terra, then attack again, then it's 7 damage because we were up to 7 attack. So just a little reminder in case you don't want to pull off that combo from with 5 damage. So it's not that great. Shelter can also have that purpose to basically trigger your rage a bit. Even Drake, so this is Mortar Strike Junior, 4 random damage for free energy, not that great, but I like the second part is that something dies from this, you get a Salamander status in your hand, so it can be anything from the little hunters to the Forge Father. It's a bit of a random gimmick, it fills our hand a bit, sometimes it's cool, but usually we just want to hit the enemy's face with it. It's, as I mentioned, 4 damage for 3, and if it kills something, it's also great. Garuda. I have 1 copy of this because the stun can sometimes come in handy. I wish this was cheaper and just dealt 1 damage or something like that. It has some synergy with Sentence, but we don't have that too much besides Kurhane and maybe something which Brennan F pulls us. So yeah, 2 off is a bit much. The stuns don't always come in handy when you have a handful of Garudas. Yeah, sometimes better options in terms of damage. So Informant Network, as always self-explanatory, our anti-stealth tech and deal 1 damage to everything. Brandon F, pretty cool 4-drop. He adds a random Raven Goddess status to a hand, so again it can be anything from the small 1-1, I don't know the name because no one plays them except the bot. The 1-1 stealth sneak attack guys and something like Kid Snacks. Everything can come to our hand, so he fills our hand and he's stealthed. Means we ramp damage on the board, we can attack with him when it's most suitable. Until that, he still provides value because he deals 2 damage for 1 energy. A really good troop, you will probably see him in any offensive war deck. Then Red Talon Siphon, some more damage tactics. 3 damage for 4 is not that great, but the second part is important here. This is basically to shut down Desperate Defense, Alpha Legion, and all those tactic heavy decks. Helped me a lot. It's more of a tech card. You can of course remove something with that, but usually it's good to keep it in hand and play it smart if you expect something big on the next enemy turn. Then Third Covenant, a really good flanker for energy 5 damage, 3 health, so can survive some stuff. He's also unstoppable, ignores frontline, really good. Kurhane, powerhouse epic of the offensive war in my opinion. He's stealth, 4-4, really good stats, so on his own, but his rally is basically Moretta's squad, but only on non-warlord enemies. He basically does 2 damage on his own, and then you can attack with your warlord and it deals 2 damage plus 1 sentence. So basically if you play this guy, you can remove something which has 5 health. Best target for this is probably his rifle or something. If you of course win, play him on turn 4. Turn 3, excuse me, and you basically answer with that. It's a pretty nice tempo play. So as you saw, we have a lot of removal options and tactics which deal damage. So yeah, these of course come in handy if the enemy plays stuff, but we also have solo warlords, Angron, Knights, Perturabo, and against those we have this card because yeah, if the board is clean, this is 5 damage for 4. Pretty good. It's won me a couple of games against mentioned Knights and Perturabos. I really like it. Paired with Ebb and Drake. It's just a bunch of random damage, but if it works, it works. Orders from Terra. This is not that great here, to be honest, but there's a cool little combo here. So if you look at the next card, we have Oath of Vengeance, which basically just does 2 extra damage when we attack. And we also have Word of War, which triggers our rage when we pop it. So the combo at 9 energy, if you have this equipped, is basically play Word of War. It's 3 damage. Then you get 1 attack from your rage. Then you attack. You do 3 damage with your attack, then 2 additional from Oath of Vengeance. That's 5 plus 3, so 8. Then you pop orders from Terra. You are at 4 attack already because of your rage. And attack again. That's additionally 6 damage, so you deal 14 damage for 9. Not the biggest and coolest combo, but it's pretty neat. Also, you don't necessarily need World of War to puppet that combo. It's just simply really good with Oath of Vengeance. And yeah, it's, as I mentioned, not that good here, but it won me a couple of games, so I kept it in here. So next, Oath of Vengeance. It's, yeah, as mentioned, just really good here because we will be attacking a lot. It did basically doubles the damage output of our warlord. Again, good combo with Orders of Terra, from Terra. Yeah, not much to explain here. Wrought by War, our board clear, 3 damage to all. We run this over any other board clear like Death Sights simply because it also triggers a rage. And it's not RNG based, so it's not random units like Volcanic Instability, and it's also not random damage like Death Sights, so we go with that. Then, my favorite troop, Marauder Squad. I really love those guys. Stealth 6-5 for 6, which is already really good. But if they attack anything, so it doesn't matter, enemy troop or the enemy warlord himself, you get a card from them. A copy, it's like basically Jubek Starsight's effect. It just fills our hands, really handy. I really like those. Then we have Cadmus Tyro. He's just super fat. He's a 7 energy, 7-6 with 5 survivor. He's super hard to remove. Usually in this deck he will get hit by the enemy's hard removal because they have nothing else much to use it on. But if he sticks, it's pretty heavy because he also have a pretty neat relentless ability to buff something up. It can be himself, can be something else. It's random, but it's not that important. So yeah, I just thought he's too good to not include him. I rarely play him because we play a pretty more or less slow curve and aggressively, so he doesn't see that much play in this deck, but as mentioned, he was just too powerful to not include here, so here he is. So yeah, other cards which are good here. Unknown Allegiance. This is only good in certain matchups, but in those matchups with this card will be really good. I'm really tempted to include it right now, but I don't know what to drop for it, to be honest. It would be really cool if it draw a card, like the White Cast version of it, then I would certainly include it. But yeah, as mentioned, for certain matchups will save your ass a couple of times. In other matchups, it just sits in your hand doing nothing. So yeah, but you could include it. It's a good addition. Then Moroted Cyrus. Well, he lost some of his power, but he's still a very good control option. If he sticks on the board, you can basically kill 4 health targets with Ashen Claw, for example, for 3 energy and draw a card. And besides that, he's a 5 energy, 5-4 with stealth, so he, even if you don't use his ability, he's kind of some ramped damage, which is hard to get rid of. Very good addition. Then Sergeant Korik. He was a bit slow for my taste for this deck. I was running him, but I didn't find any good targets for him, because the game usually was over because you could remove something big or poison something big with him. Usually he was just used on Kaiser Lane or something. So yeah, he's still very solid. If he sticks, he can attack freely because he heals himself at the end of the turn. The poison shuts down something. If you pair it with Garuda, it's like Mortarian's hard removal basically. But as mentioned, a bit too slow for this deck in my opinion. Still a good addition. Then Barabbas Antioch. He's just a fatty who spawns little barricades. I find it funny that he's so big and builds these little barricades. But yeah, he's not in here because of his cost. As mentioned, I rarely played Cadmus Tyro already, so playing him will probably not happen at all. But if you want to go a bit more top heavy with this, he's a good addition simply because he's huge and simply demands for hard removal. Otherwise, he will just stick and be dangerous. Okay, then we have Breach. Why? Frontline bad when you have Berserk. and that's why this card is probably a solid inclusion in here. Since you have to attack with your warlords, if there is a front line which is big, you will have to run your face into the big front line. Not that great, so maybe one copy of Breach for that certain situation could come in handy. Also Command Bridge to fish for certain stuff you want. Well, you know the card. It's always a solid addition in my opinion. I just didn't find a fitting spot for it here, to be honest. Then we have drilling sites. You could run those instead of abandoned supplies. This helps us with our mana management a bit. I mean energy management. Mana is from another game, sorry. But you shouldn't run abandoned supplies and drilling sites in one deck, because if you draw the drilling sites from your abandoned supplies, this is a really sad moment. So yeah, decide for one of those. Each are fine. Abandoned supplies is just my personal preference because it can draw us a couple of 4 or 5 energy cards, and then it's really good in terms of tempo. Speaking of tempo, Melgator, he's always a good addition. Bounce something, and we also have a couple of stuff we can bounce for ourselves. For example, attack with Bran, bounce him with Melgator, play him again, get another Raven Guard troop in your hand, or same with Kahane to capitalize on his powerful rally ability again. Solid addition, you could think about it. Then P Alpha, some stun hate, and it also heals us for 3, since we're always attacking, getting some health back is not that bad. So yeah, I just again didn't know what to drop here for him. He is simply not a vital card. He can come in handy, but he doesn't do something for us proactively. And last but not least, Urzi Malevolus. We don't have any hard removal in this deck, so if you play against something which ramps, like Fail for example, and he's like Asteroids Belt, then Supply Lines, and then suddenly turn 3 you have a Lernaia Hydra in your face, well, that doesn't do much now that I think about it, because he played the Lernaia Hydra way earlier than you played Urzi. My bad. But still, if the game drags on a bit and they play something like a Doombringer or something, like Ahriman tends to play those a lot. Urzi comes in really handy. He gets rid of those, and he usually wants to be dealt with, which is not that hard since he has only 4 health. But yeah, he still poses a threat and is a good tempo swing card. So yeah, that's it for the deck. As mentioned, this is kind of a fresh brew. I'm still tinkering more or less. I think this is the final build though. I mentioned the cards which you could add. But yeah, let's just jump into some high ladder gameplay as usual. Horus. This will be hard. I'm obviously keeping Informant Network here, and probably Oath of Vengeance, because I have no other way to kill him otherwise.
The chains
Pretty
are
good.
broken.
No mercy.
Mulligans. So yeah, just play our drop and attack, since we have to. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's draw first. And since we have nothing better to do, I'm gonna Survivor for now. Next turn we can Mortar Strike if he doesn't play anything. And even if he does, it's still good, I think. Yeah, there's a Mortar Strike. Still fine. We can Red Talon. Nothing better to play since he probably runs a lot of tactics. Next turn we can Oath of Vengeance. Yeah, seems like we shut down his turn, pretty good. Oh, that's from Terra, here it is. So now we hit for 4. Good thing about Oath, it also pops Survivor and works real well if we would have something which gives Sentence. Because it's 2 instances of damage. Okay, I'm gonna play the Marauder here. We need to keep an eye out on this one though. I probably want to keep Informant Network until he plays Deliverance. Or to finish him off. So I could kill that. But for now I'm ignoring it. This will probably get jet biked. Yep. It's okay. Well, not much to do here. I'm just gonna play Kerhane on his own. Stun him. And attack. We're just gonna use our energy to the fullest. So even if he uses Deliverance, I probably can kill him next turn, I think. Yeah, that's okay. That's super okay because triggers a rage. Isn't that funny? So yeah, that's game. Then we attack. Even if he didn't have those damage troops, he basically gave us lethal here. Damage tactics, I mean, because he gave us 1 extra damage. Not too shabby. GG. Emendera. We're fine with the sisters usually. Well, let's see how it goes. Kireen? Pretty good here actually. Gonna keep him.
The chains are broken.
I will do my part in the war to end all wars.
What's so special? And goes face, interesting. There's Oath. And the 4 Energy Marauder, not too shabby. That's why I like Abandoned Supplies. I wonder what he plays. Okay, Heaven Drake. As mentioned, we want to keep his health lower than ours. 2 foxes, it's okay. So, Marauders, your turn. We have Oath and Orders. Yeah, this sucks. My Serpents is also not that great. I'm just gonna Oath and attack the face probably, because if he has the flanker, this is dead anyway. So I really want to go face here. Yeah, here's the flanker, as expected. Yep. So we can rain into shoulder and attack. Okay. That's fine too. So you go here. That's probably sure. 2 void engagements. That's a great draw. Then you go here. Draw again. Attack. Draw another card. And pop Survivor since we can't attack. So... unless he has like a super duper heal, we should be fine. It's fine. Another Steel Fox probably. Yeah. Water Strike for the win. GG, Amandera. I wonder what he fished for. Like, there is a version with apotheosis and all that stuff. I wonder if that was that, because it's a really good player actually. I usually lose against him. But yeah, we didn't play long enough to find out what it was. 6. This will be interesting. Keeping those. I should have kept Informant Network as well. Against Tolerance.
The chains are broken.
I will tend to the wounded.
Let's just attack. Getting Survival right now doesn't help that much. Yo, okay. Please hit. Nope. Well, this messes with us a lot. Let's draw first. That's great. But we need to get rid of the back. So, bunch of guys. Okay, he doesn't attack, that's good for us. Let's draw first. Great, war by war. And enraged attack. Raven's Talons. This guy, dude. Okay, Gold has a great top deck. Into 4 Engine Marauders. He plays Informant Network instead of the bikes. That's interesting. I mean the 6-4 bikes. So that's somewhat easy here. It's Ash and Claw. Another Marauder. Water Strike. And attack twice. And attack with that as well because you can simply kill it otherwise. Okay. So my options are Bran. Crane. Probably gonna do that. Here's a Mortar Strike to my face. Not so good. Does he have Deliverance? If he has Deliverance, I'm in trouble. Because I mulliganed my... Yeah, that's fine. Does he have 1 damage? Ooh, that was close. Interesting deck. But I like my 6 deck more. Phew, it was pretty hard to get some interesting footage for you guys today. So there were some tough top 50 matches today. We lost a couple. I also won plenty, but they weren't really interesting. Like bit RNG based, didn't highlight the deck too much. The ones you just saw were probably the most interesting ones. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And we'll try out our Mr. Unpopular. Like, look at them, look at him. He's like, I don't know, his fucked up face, and he's super angry and like a total Chad. You know what I mean? It looks a bit silly, but you know, he and the Hound from Game of Thrones have some stuff in common. I don't know if you're screaming or like, okay, whatever. So yeah, maybe you'll try out Mr. Haar. I'm certainly having fun with him. The random damage sometimes throws it off, but still, making unpopular warlords work is kinda what I really like about this game. So yeah, if you want to see some more deck guides, event gameplay, or want me to build a deck of your choice, just comment below. Feel free to subscribe. I'm uploading a couple times a week. The World Cup, as I say, everybody will come soon, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, midnight out.